Whoa! Welcome around the world to Monsoon Live, right here on the Monsoon Warrior YouTube channel. I am Jeffrey, the Monsoon Mystic. We're here in Newport, Delaware. Sunny skies, great weather today. Man, what a weekend we had. It is the Streetbeefs recap weekend, and we are covering it all. This is literally a two-part show. Why? There were so many fights, we had to cover it all. Now, quick program note so you guys understand. You're going to hear a lot about these fights. Some of them will sound similar because a group of us sat down, we watched them, and we were just blown away. A couple of them I'll be repeating what the comments were. Others will go a little in depth. Nothing against any of the fighters. It's just you guys blew our minds away with the quality of the fights. Streetbeefs again delivers. So let's get right to it. We're going to kick it off with Rookie versus TPG. Great matchup. This is a fun fight to watch. Before I go on any further, guys, go on the Streetbeefs. You can look this up on YouTube. All the fights are right there. Again, look it up on Streetbeefs. Rookie versus TPG. A little back and forth, a little drama, a little excitement. It was awesome. Loved it. First fight, we were like, whoa. Okay, the guys were like, what are you getting into? Next one, King of the Ring versus Venom Black. Come on, guys. You can't get anything better than this with Venom Black. Both of these guys duked it out. Great fight across the board. Same thing with Pressure T versus D. Awesome. Now, we got to talk about this next fight, which is the MMA fight. This was taking place. It was Berserk versus Tree Trunk. Here's how cool this fight was. And I said this is one of those fights we're going to go a little in depth. Back and forth, some big punches, big bombs. There was one point, there was a rear naked choke. I believe that's what it's called. If I screw it up, hit me for it, okay? I don't know MMA terms or wrestling terms. The guy literally grabbed him and flipped him. All you heard in the crowd was like, oh! Dude, that was sick. It was, what the? That's what the look was from our guy. So that was a fun fight to watch. All these fights were fun, but it was like, I was like, wait a minute, did we just see a pro wrestling move here? Next, another fight we got to talk about. Mr. Mudd versus House of Pain. I want to share a little story about this. These two guys I know. They're great guys. Every time I go down to the yard, you know, yo, it's the Monsoon. Got a lot of love. They had the time of their life in the ring. Big shout out to both these guys. Big thank you to Streetbeefs for putting this together. You know, it's not about winning or losing. It's about having fun. And these guys had fun. And just an awesome fight card. Awesome fight with these two guys. Again, we don't reveal the winners. There's only one fight we're going to reveal who won. I think we all know who it is, but we're not going to say who. Next up, a very special fight. It was a very unique fight. This one, KG3 Finger versus Gorilla. Now, let me give you a little backstory into this one. This KG3 was originally my opponent. That got changed. What happened to me? You're going to find out in a couple of minutes. That fight was it was a back and forth, big, great fight. Both fights. You know, I learned a lot from all these fights. Different techniques, different skills. So, KG3, great fight. Gorilla, great fight. Now we come to another special fight. All these fights are special, but for me, this was a very unique one. And this is kind of the story time of the Streetbeefs look back. And it is Iron Horse versus Peace in Our Time. It was boxing. These two guys, great fighters. Iron Horse trained me for the beginning of my trek into boxing and into Streetbeefs. It was fun as you can imagine. The cauliflower ear, that's from him. His coach Tommy also trained me. I was looking forward to this. I got to see my buddy fight. That's why I was so emotionally charged Streetbeefs. The second his opponent, let me tell you a little story about this guy. I had worked from 9 o'clock the night before to 6 a.m. Friday. Drove all the way up to Pittsburgh, picked him up, and brought him down to Neutral Corner Boxing Gym, which, great boxing gym, by the way. Hats off to those guys. Then, by the way, during that time, I threw the keys to him and said, "You're driving, I'm sleeping." Fell asleep, woke up, no problem, we got there. Got to know this young man. This young man is going to be a great fighter. Please watch this video too. Watch all these fight videos. They're amazing. These are some great up-and-coming young fighters. This fight, back and forth. And in that third round, you saw the killer instincts in both men. They weren't going to let it go. It was an awesome fight. I was privileged to watch two of my friends battle it out. Now, the next fight we got to talk about. This was picked as fight of the day. And folks, I encourage you, if you want to see passion, if you want to see drama, if you want to see excitement, if you want to see you want to check this fight out. It is Prodigal Son, my buddy, versus The Beast. Both these men lived up to their names. Both these men executed a fight that was amazing. And it was so much fun to watch. Guess what? It went to the judges' card. Judges can make a decision. It went to YouTube. It kept going. It was... If it would have went 2 more rounds, the outcome could have been different. That's how close. This fight was so tight. It was unbelievable. The referee was our buddy Mouse, too. That is when you're like, oh my God. They're calling the big guns for this fight. That's how good it was. Prodigal Son versus The Beast. Check that one out. There's a reason why it's match of the day. And if you are a young fighter, if you're getting into the amateurs, if you're getting into pros, this is a fight, besides all the others you are on there, that you should watch and learn and study. Different contracts, different styles. This is another one you got to watch. Now, the last fight we're going to do on this card, we got to talk about it. It is your buddy, the host, Monsoon. Remember I said I got a different opponent. So, let me tell you a little story about Psycho over here. That's now what's kind of being called. I get very tunnel vision when I fight. I get focused. I get zeroed in, and I know the task at hand. That's what happened at this fight. My opponent was Vida. Great young fighter. Came out. Great story. By the way, this is the only fight we reveal who wins, okay? So bear with me. He comes out, guns a-blazing. I weather the storm, as Corey would say, and guess what? First round, TKO, 3 knockdowns, I win. Team Monsoon, 3-0 in the yard, but it was a fun experience. I learned a lot in that fight, that I could take a pounding, then let go and unload. So, big shout out to them. That wraps up the first part of this card. The next half of this, we're going to do part 2, obviously, in a moment. We are going to cover some of the best of MMA. We're also going to talk about folks who did 2 fights in a row, did 2 fights that day. You're going to hear about that. Also, we're going to introduce a new member of the team of Monsoon. You'll want to check this out. So, for now, from Newport, coming up next, part 2. We try to keep these under 10 minutes. It's already 9 minutes for this show. But we'll see you for part 2 right here on the Monsoon Live YouTube Warrior channel. Later. And now, let's turn it over to Jeff. Part 2 is yours, buddy.